My family had a very tragic event that happened back in August the 19th of 1983. My aunt and 2-year-old and 11-year-old first cousins were traveling from the county fair in Macon County on a 2-lane highway with paved shoulders, and a impaired driver, by all accounts, intentionally rounded a curve and hit their car. All three were deceased. It almost cut the car in half. The trooper that investigated that crash was a reconstructionist and a very good friend of the family's and mine. And he later resigned because of that tragedy. He worked at the sheriff's department then as a court officer, just to collect his thoughts for the next, I think, is about 3 years, and I may not have the exact time frame, but he resigned from the highway patrol due to that tragic event. He still carried on with the prosecution, and to my knowledge, I believe General Thompson, Tommy Thompson of the 15th Judicial District, I think that's the first time in the state history of the state that someone was charged with second-degree murder out of a car crash. The witnesses in the vehicle with the guy driving, who left the scene, stated that he made a comment that he didn't care if he killed anyone, and he rounded a curve and never straightened his vehicle. It just appeared so intentional to hit the car, the driver's side door, and like I say, it almost cut the vehicle in half. The 2-year-old was properly in a car seat. The 11-year-old was in the front seat with a buckle, and the mom was unbuckled. But it killed all three of them. My uncle at that time, I never will forget the scream when he was told that his wife and 2 kids had been killed in a tragic car crash. Immediately he wants to, know where they are and who's responsible. He never recovered from that loss. He went to the jail with a shotgun after they arrested the man the following day to, take out his own frustrations with the man. But the sheriff at that time was well known and talked to my uncle and knew my uncle, and it was able to talk him down. The following few months, my uncle tried drinking, became an alcoholic for about 2 years, lost his job, turned to the Lord, attended church for the next couple of 3 years, still without a job, or a few odds and end jobs back and forth. And then ultimately he had a car crash and died a few days later after a car crash at a young age, 60 years old. And I say that didn't just kill those 3 that night. It killed a 4th person. His quality of life was never the same. He never had any more children, and he just never recovered.